Hats off, SLC.
Hats off.
Hats off.
Hats off, SLC.
Hats off, SLC. Go Suns.
Hats off.
Hats off.
Hats off, SLC?
Hats off.
Hats off.
Wait, that's not.
Hats off, SLC. Oh.
Hats off, SLC. Well, often we are asked, how's the church doing, Pastor? The trouble is that one of the traditional ways of assessing the well-being of a congregation and how it's doing in its mission is worship attendance. And it's not easy to get at this in this COVID-19 era. We've arrived at a number of 356 for our average worship in 2021. About 200 of this is in-person worshipers, and another 150 comes from our Facebook engagements, app, and YouTube views. So this is a little less than where we were before the pandemic, but not radically different. We did make the significant investments in personnel and equipment that we reported in last year's report, and now are providing a high-quality live stream for people worshiping virtually. I almost weekly get thanks from folks who say these live stream worship services are keeping them going through this pandemic. Of course, finances are another way of taking the temperature. In that regard, we are even in meeting our expenses, our ministry expenses, as of the end of October. But it should be noted that our expenses are well below our budget, so if we were spending our whole budget, we would be behind. Nevertheless, we are very solid financially right now as we approach the end of the year. Thanks be to God. Way to go, SLC. But you know, as important as these metrics are, the question of how are you doing, or how are we doing, Pastor, is best answered by you reading all the written reports in our annual report. I think you'll see we continue to connect more to Christ and are loving Kitsap and engaging with our community, sharing the blessings of God, even throughout this year of dealing with the COVID-19 health crisis.
Our mission is to connect to Christ. So how is that happening in our ministry to young families? Especially now that we've had a full year without Pastor Paula, as she's taken a new call a little while back. Well, the first answer is engaged volunteers. Dawn Rittenbach has been a faithful and consistent leader in our Sunday school ministry, and she and her team of teachers went over the top to keep our kids connected when they couldn't physically be here. Thanks so much for your passion and persistence. Second, we hired Jessica Voigt as a new staff member, working with young families and military families as well. And she has been partnering with Dawn, with Kathy Bowman, our community connector, and with lots of volunteers to do a few things. Reach out to our military and preschool families, engage our Sunday school youth and families in some new ways, offer an amazing vacation Bible school with great volunteers, and so much more. Thanks to her for her passion and her gifts for inspiring volunteers. Because of that, we were able to serve 50 youth in our VBS. Our Sunday school has a lot of energy and some new and inspiring volunteers and leaders and teachers. And we have 2 large outreach events with our military as well. Our preschool families received a warm welcome this year, and our kids are starting to increase their service and worship leadership, a really key element for us going forward. The struggles of busyness are a constant in the lives of our families, and reconnecting after a long time of disconnection is a struggle as well. That is why we are committed to holding our mission up and continuing to be creative about connecting our kids and families to Christ and to their community. Thank you for your passion in this work.
Preaching, teaching, pastoral care, and leading our staff are the focus of my call. And it's exciting to see folks re-engaging in Sunday classes and Thursday Bible study, service opportunities. We see our quilters back at work. What a joy that is. Now, our foundations classes that I teach have a good small group attending each time, and we're doing all of our classes hybrid, which is exciting. So people are participating in lots of great ways. We are concerned, though, about getting people re-engaged in our ministry. Whenever we do come out of this pandemic, we want to keep those connections strong, and that's going to be our challenge and a focus for us in the year ahead as we look at care ministry, as we look at pastoral care and needing some more attention in those areas. And so that's going to be a big focus in the new year.
I already brought up our mission of connecting more to Christ, but let's ask that question again. How is that happening with our older youth and their families? Well, I can tell you this. I have never seen the power of connection being more important than I have this year. Games of spoons and foursquare, just a simple gathering around a fire outside or a meal inside, have become almost as important as the content of what we cover. But that content has been important too, and our focus on our Wednesday night gatherings especially have been around how we live together as God's people, as well as our child of God worth. We count, we matter. We matter and we belong, in fact, and furthermore, we have a mission in this world that doesn't wait for us to be an adult, but happens right now. And so we are asking the big questions of life and increasing our efforts to offer leadership and service opportunities to our young people. I have to take some time here to thank David and Stephanie Sweeney, especially for our Zoom nights and the Luther Haven nights. They had such great leadership this past year. And I also want to take time to welcome Jessica Voigt as a staff partner here as well with part of her time with our older youth and families. And we are so blessed to have Katie Crabtree and Alex Lund as brand new youth small group leaders as well. It's a great team, but our goal is to make you more and more a part of it as we nurture our young people into their adult faith together as God's people.
I do want to say a quick word about our staff. As we reported last year, we were adding some new staff members, and Kim Grasmick, our pastoral care assistant and women's ministry connectors, doing amazing work and is such a help in meeting the visitation and caregiving and pastoral care needs of SLC. Jessica Voigt, Pastor Jonathan has talked about, she's doing great work with children ministry and military outreach, brought such great energy. And I don't have time to celebrate every member of our team, and they are amazing. It's an incredible team that works so well together, doing such amazing ministry. They're talented, they're strong, they've had great endurance. We've worked hard together. The council has proposed some monies for an additional part-time pastor when PJ or I are gone for an extended leave, a sabbatical, or somebody needs to be away medically for a month to 2 months for a knee replacement. I don't know who that would be. They've also added some money for an ongoing, perhaps 10-hour-a-week pastoral care visitation pastor, as that's still an area where we're struggling to keep up with. So, but we're not sure we'll do that. We'll see how finances look, but it's in the budget this year. Chris Love has done a great job with small group ministry, but is letting go of that in the coming year. We do have some money still left over in the Break the Barrier Fund, so we're hoping that we will be able to bring someone in on that, but we'll be evaluating that in the new year. Finally, our financial review team has made a recommendation that our bookkeeper position, which has been volunteer by some great volunteers over the years and currently Rick Cotter, should be a paid position, given the amount of time and skill that's needed to do that job. And so the council has included that as well in our budget. So that's a little bit about our team. What a great team it is. Hats off to all of them, and I think about Justin with his incredible work with music ministry, especially during this pandemic.
Well, bottom line, we have not let this pandemic and the restrictions cripple our ministry together.
In fact, in some ways, we're even stronger. So if, or better when, we get past this COVID-19 health crisis, we will be ready to follow our Lord into the future so that SLC is forever a place where people receive the blessings of the person and work of Christ. So,
oh, come on now, this is serious. We got it.
hats off,
SLC.